Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today I want to start with a little trigger warning. If you're one of those sad little sycophantic guys who can't handle it, you get your panties all in a knot whenever anyone calls out your favorite gun tuber for being a lying, manipulative profiteer, if you can't handle that, you might not want to watch this video because there's going to be a lot of that in it. With that being said, I'm sure a lot of you are aware over the last year or two, you've been seeing a lot of press, especially in the left-wing media, about how the SIG Sauer P320 is just unsafe. It's dangerous. It just goes off on its own. You don't even have to be touching it. It's just dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. You keep seeing that in the media. Also, you see a lot of gun tubers that are more than willing to pick up on that if they think it's going to make them a dime. Because bad news sells. So, you've seen a lot of gun channels like, oh, the P320 is just unsafe. You shouldn't carry one. They're bad. I had 22 of them and they all went wrong. That kind of bullshit lying stuff. If they were bad, why'd you buy so many of them? So it doesn't make any sense, a lot of the things they say, especially the articles in the media. They talk about how, they just go off, lay it on a table or sitting in a purse or whatever. And they completely neglect to say that the person that it went off on was engaging in unsafe activity and it had nothing to do with the gun. And like I said, that's in the media and a lot of gun tubers have picked up on it. Shame on them, because all it takes is a little bit of common sense to know this is bullshit. I called it as bullshit from day one. And called out any gun tuber who wanted to contradict me to come on. None of them did come on my live chat. We do live chats every night at 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. You can come in and tell me I'm wrong. But I called them out. No one ever came in because they knew they were just profiteering off of propaganda. Because here's the reality. The P320 is not unsafe. None of these claims have merit. And that's being backed up right now because cases like the one from Brittany Hilton just got dismissed with prejudice. It was found that there was no merit to it whatsoever. She was engaged in unsafe activity with a firearm and it bit her in the ass. So all these lawsuits are like that. The other cop that says, mine went off when I was just carrying it in my gym bag. Yeah, not in a holster, wrapped in a towel. That's unsafe activity. The gun acted as it should have. Something in your gym bag pulled the trigger, it went off. Something in that purse pulled the trigger, it went off. Now, I know a lot of people, it is easy to get fooled if you pay attention to the media, like a big article in the Trace, etc. Well, one thing you got to ignore, though, if you want to believe those articles, is that those articles were written by people who work for the Bloomberg organization, his anti-gun group. They wrote them, along with people they knew that worked in media. And not only did they write them with a bias, they completely fabricated stuff. Like one of the articles, SIG Sauer provided them an illustration, an animation of how their safety actually works and how their trigger works. They didn't use it. They copied over with their own version of it where they left off key safety features, just left it out of the illustration completely. That's willfully being dishonest. That's lying. And that's what they did, so that they could demonize the gun, because it helps the Bloomberg organization whenever they can harm a big gun manufacturer, because that's one of the things they want to do. They want to take the big gun manufacturers off the board because they have money and influence. People know them, and if you mess with them, people notice. So Bloomberg doesn't like them there. If they were gone, it'd be so much easier for him to completely get rid of the Second Amendment. So they're going after them, and they use these cases where people use guns irresponsibly, harm themselves. One of the police officers that was claiming that he got harmed by his gun, it went off on its own. The department itself said, no, you were engaged in unsafe activities. We have it on video that you were engaged in unsafe activity, that what you said didn't happen. So accept the fact that you're going to get written up for it and sign this waiver here, or not waiver, but paper saying you admit that you were engaged in an unsafe activity. But he instead chose to resign and then sue SIG Sauer and claimed that it was ulterior motives. They don't like me because they think I'm a racist, all that kind of stuff. It was a bunch of bullshit. It was a disgruntled employee who shot himself and didn't want to admit it. That's been the case with almost every one of these things. And that is not uncommon. It happened with Glock. When police departments switched from revolvers to Glocks, the self-harm rate in police officers skyrocketed. And Glock faced a lot of frivolous lawsuits, but nothing like what's being publicized now, because now, like I said, it's happening about the same as it did with Glock. Actually, less so, way less so. But now you've got a left-wing media and these big money anti-gun organizations that see it as an opportunity. And they want to promote this stuff, even though it's BS, and they have to lie to promote it. They don't care. You know, they write an opinion piece. Oh, well, that was my opinion. No journalistic ethics violated there because it's just my opinion. And people fall for it. And the worst, and that I expect, but what really pisses me off is all these GunTubers who jumped on it. They didn't sit down and go, it was in someone's gym bag and it went off. Sounds like that was probably the fault of the person. Oh, it was in their purse that they were swinging around, hitting on the desk and the cabinets and stuff before it went off. That sounds like it's on the person. They didn't do that. They saw a chance to make money. Dollar signs lit up in their eyes and they jumped on that negative information bandwagon. A lot of them did it because they love Glocks and they don't like the fact that the P320 is taking away Glock market. That's just as dishonest, just as bad for the gun community. And it shows you how honest they are. They didn't use any deductive reasoning or rational thought before they ran with the, they're dangerous crap. And that's disgusting. I challenged a lot of these people to come in my live chat and tell me, tell me they're not safe. Convince me. And of course they didn't, because they're scared. They know they're lying. I do live chats every night, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. on Monday and Wednesday. They can come in and tell me I'm wrong. You can come in and tell me I'm wrong. But they don't, because they know I'm right. They know they're wrong. They know they're doing it for money or bias. And that's not what we need in the gun community. Like I said, I expect this garbage from the left-wing media, like the Trace, etc. I expect it from Bloomberg. When they lie, I'm just like, another day they lied. But when GunTubers who claim to support the Second Amendment and the firearms industry do it, that's pathetic. You are a lapdog of the Bloomberg administration. You are a co-conspirator with them simply because you wanted your piece of the pie, and you are disgusting. If you're one of these channels that put out there these P320s are unsafe, I had 20 of them and they all went bad, that kind of lying bullshit. If you're one of the channels that did that, shame on you. Fuck you. You should get off YouTube because you are a detriment to the gun community and the gun industry. And I don't care who you are. Unless you've got the balls to come talk to me, shut the fuck up. Because you don't have the balls to talk to me. And you've been proven wrong here. These cases are being dismissed with prejudice, and I don't see everybody covering that. I don't see everybody in the media saying, oh, look, turned out these guns aren't unsafe. These were just a few random dumbasses who did something stupid, like a guy who shot himself through the palm, saying he was just putting it on his nightstand that went off. How the fuck do you shoot yourself through the palm doing that? It was just a few random dumbasses doing something that people do with guns all the time. They behave irresponsibly and they pay the price. So, like I said, if you're someone that amplified that message, that the SIGs are dangerous, shame on you. Hell, the SIG P320 just got picked up by the Canadian military. The Canadian military. They call it a different name, but it's the same gun. And you think Canada is going to adopt an unsafe gun? Their health and safety requirements up there are so bad, you can't even pick your nose on the clock without a supervisor watching. You think they're going to choose an unsafe gun? No, they're not. So it's ridiculous. The whole thing was ridiculous from the beginning. It was a bunch of misrepresentations, lies, exaggerations, and using idiots that were the outside example as the norm. And I expected that, like I said, from YouTube, regular channels. I expected it from the media. I expected it from Bloomberg. But the gun channels that went along with it, just because they could make some money, or it supported one of their biases and promoted one of their favorite guns, if you did that, like I said, fuck you, you're a piece of garbage, and you should just delete your account.